Are you excited?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What about you?
I'm a little nervous.
AGCO likes to keep it pretty simple. Like fuel filters are the same as like, our 5S tractors. And
Yeah, that since we all use the AGCO Power AP engine, there's a lot of that that interchangeability that AP really tries to do, to the point where, like this one has a 7-cylinder engine, right?
Yep.
So that means, and which is really weird to the rest because everybody's 6. But AP has such a devotion to interchangeability. So that that engine has the same piston rod, connecting bearings, main bearings, all of that's the stuff that's the same.
Gotcha.
So that way, and then the cylinder heads, they have a 3-cylinder engine, they have a 4-cylinder engine, they have a 6-cylinder engine, and they have a 7-cylinder engine. And then you have 2 sets of heads, a 3-cylinder and a 4-cylinder. And with the combination of those,
you can, I see.
You can run the whole gambit. So that interchangeability helps you to reduce the cost of whatever owning, operating, just that the nickels and dimes that add up over the period of time.
Right.
And to really, and again, if you know it on your Massey, you know it on your Gleaner, anything else that has that AP engine there.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
So.
Well, that's kind of nice because even like the 2 skid loaders that we have, they have different things. Like you have to type in each and every one.
Well, and if you think about it as for a dealer stance as well, every dealer, that square foot, those square inches, that part sitting on a part shelf, that's valuable real estate.
Mm-hmm.
And the more rear turn you can get off where you've got parts that are constantly turning over in that little piece, makes them more profitable as well, makes them healthier. So,
gotcha.
So really it's an overall really good scheme, a really good thought process as far as making sure interchangeability. And Gleaner's the same way. We have, I think it's a total of 48 bearings on the whole of the machine.
Gotcha.
And there's only 25 part numbers. So that means there's bearings that are used in multiple places that you can keep a few in the truck, and that way if it goes out, you can go get her fixed real quick. So really, again, a really good, I'm really proud of that, to be honest with you, because that's something that really helps folks at the end of the day meet margin. Because costs are just going up and up. And the more ways we can reduce costs, the better.
How's it going?
Hey!
Hey. Well, we're not in a hayfield.
No.
We're
This
not.
looks a lot like beans.
It is a bean field. Hey, it was hay. This is its second crop for the year.
Yeah.
And as soon as these beans are gone, we've already got the seed.
Right
It's
back
going
in.
right back in.
It'll be a third time this year to be planted.
So,
Yeah.
we have with us special guest.
Hi, my name's Aaron Beyer. I'm the marketing product specialist for Gleaner Combines, and like I tell folks, my job is to teach folks how to operate, own, perfect the Gleaner Combine, and really have fun with harvest. And I've got the easiest job in the world because there's no better combine out there than a Gleaner Combine. So yeah.
In all intentionality, when we planted our beans, it was surrounded around Brian, our buddy at Spencer Creek, who we're going to go see later. And we did our beans in between his early beans and his late beans. So we didn't even intentionally plan for a combine to come, but you've seen my stories, and we're like, hey.
This all originated at National Farm Machinery Show, and exactly, on the plane to Louisville, I saw that you were planting beans. I'm like, oh boy, there is no combine that should be in there other than a Gleaner Combine. So I just, in passing, suggested it, and
here we are.
You ran with it, and I'm like, let's go.
That is just kind of how we go with the flow.
Yeah.
But yes, we're super excited. We got to run the T-Series at Farm Progress Show.
That's right.
I've never ran a combine ever until that day. So we'll see how it goes today.
Yeah. So this is an S9. So this is the previous model to that, but the big difference between the T Series and the S9 is that DuraDrive ground drive system that's on the T Series. We've got a pretty decent ground drive system on this. It's just that DuraDrive took it to another level.
Right.
And as far as control, resolution of speed control, and really just some of the capabilities to get into the field. This machine does exactly the same thing as far as the processor, to be able to get that premium bin sample, low loss levels. And we were poking around here yesterday, and there's not much on the ground, is there?
No, there's not. So,
and that's always the end of the day, right? You put all the you you were really proud of these beans, and I want to make sure all of it goes in the tank. So
That's right.
We wanted to make sure we set it.
Yep.
So
Yeah, we have some really tall. I mean, I was showing them yesterday. It's almost shoulder high on me, and
Yeah.
I'm 5'4" for reference. So
Yeah.
it was like when they're almost as tall as I am, it says something. But you know, you and I talked about it. Like, we think that the bean really growth has happened because of the micronutrients that we've
Yes.
had. We're constantly rotating things in and
Not
out.
planting the same thing over and over again.
a monoculture, and that's one of the big things that we really kind of talk about at Gleaner is soil health and compaction.
Right.
So having a lighter weight machine, we're able to not only get into the field, probably sometimes when we shouldn't because we're doing that compaction, but
Right.
because we have a light machine, we're doing less compaction than other heavier machines.
Mm-hmm.
And I really do appreciate the fact that you're rotating that crop because, I mean, soybeans put nitrogen back in, you're going to get that back out, you're going to get the, what are you planting into it? Triticale.
Yep.
So
and then come spring, we might be putting in alfalfa. I mean, it's a constant.
Back into hay, which then we'll be back in alfalfa for a few years.
Yeah,
I mean,
few cuttings,
so
yeah.
6-7 years probably
Yeah.
on alfalfa. So
And
But
it
that
creates
means-
that microbiome
Yeah.
that is everybody's just trying to chase after.
Which means, like, if we're putting this back into alfalfa here, this is 40 acres to go in, but we've got, what, 25 or 40 over at the other farm
That we'll take
that
out.
needs to come out of production. So we'll have to be either, you know, putting something back in to continuously rotate them in and out because alfalfa can't go back on
it's
back.
it's all surrounded by how can we break that cycle of the toxin between the alfalfa. So we have to do something else here, and we'll do it at another farm, and then for a couple of years, and then it'll be another field.
Okay.
You know, so it'll be it's all revolving around though. How can we get back to alfalfa?
Mm-hmm. And
So.
put the kind of make that soil health back to where it needs to be
Right.
before going to the next one. That's really thinking ahead. I really do. I think that's really smart of you guys to be able to do that.
Yep.
So, yes, we're definitely not row croppers at all.
Well, I
At
don't know.
all,
Again, I
but-
keep teasing you about maybe you got a green thumb here
I
because
don't know.
beans like this don't come by every day.
Yep.
We just got lucky.
So
The luck was on our side, so,
Get some video and some drone footage, and
yeah.
We'll roll
Hopefully
with it.
we get some nice breeze because yesterday it was nothing but a cloud of dust after the
Yeah.
first pass by.
She's dry today. I mean, she's been, and that's the thing that I think a lot of folks are challenged with this year is that it's dry. Talking to folks in Ohio, it's critically dry there. They are definitely not used to it. Iowa, where I was last week, it's dry, not as dry as it was last year, but still. And then where I'm at in Kansas, I don't think there's a day that doesn't start with a drought. So,
Right.
So we're all fighting water right now, and again, what you're doing here is going to help you out in the long run.
right.
So, you ready? You excited, fired up? I know yesterday you were a kid in a candy store all the way home, the whole drive. You were so excited. This isn't something we ever get to do. And like, you've helped farmers on the side, but you've never really got to drive the combine. You're either the grain cart runner or the
Yeah.
semi
I've
hauler.
drove combine a few times, but not
Not very
not
much.
a lot. So
Yeah.
I never have.
yeah.
The beauty of it is the Gleaner is the easiest combine to operate because it is simplicity is the name of the game. That's why we fit so well in the Massey kind of stables because straightforward and dependable. There's no better straightforward and dependable combine than a Gleaner. So it's not going to be a too long of a learning curve before
Yep.
you're an expert for sure.
Good. That's what I like to hear. Easy. I need easy.
Let's get these beans on the truck.
Okay.
There you go.
You ready?
Yep.
Okay. Are you excited?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What about you?
I'm a little nervous. I do not do well with learning new things. You know this.
Yeah.
My goal is to not cry today.
Okay.
What's her goal?
To not cry.
To not cry.
Not cry.
Not cry.
Well, I guess that's a good goal to have every day. Is not
You have no idea. You have no idea.
The only tears are tears of joy today. That's all we're doing.
So Jason's gonna get a crash course. He's gonna do the outer stuff, so that way I can learn how on like the stroking rows. Just for my peace of mind and stuff, it would be easier on all of us. I'm super excited. This has been a blessing inside of itself. When Aaron reached out to us about it, I was like, how's that gonna play out? But I'm really excited, and this is gonna be such a fun experience, and I hope you guys are excited with us.
with this processor, you don't have to have an S9 to see the same benefit. You can have an S8, you can have an S7, you can have an R5, R6. The natural flow processor is a natural flow. So 50 years of experience that we've made, it's just nice to have a piece of equipment because you know that.
Well, that's what, like, we talk about, you know, the baler. Like, if you don't have a good enough baler, what's the point of mowing? Like,
Right.
if you can't pick it up,
Right.
what are you doing?
Up. What we're doing is we're going to count what's in here. And of course, this is what's coming out of the back of the machine. This is one of those things that you want to make sure when you're setting. And so usually when I set a machine, I first set it for loss to make sure we're keeping everything in there. And then I set it for sample to try to get the best sample.
I know, like every other day there for a while, he was like going out and there picking them up. I'm like, you can't go do that, stop it.
If you
You're
don't stop
pick
picking
away.
at them, you're not going to have any left to
I'm like,
harvest.
remember when you tell me not to ride on the alfalfa because it like damages the leaves and then that won't grow? I'm like, same concept,
Leave
dude.
it alone.
Leave it alone.
Let it grow. Okay, so this is what's gone through, and it takes 5 beans per square foot, and this should be a 5-foot pan. You said you're 5'3", right?
Yeah.
Okay, 5-foot pan. Okay, so we take this number and we're going to divide it by 5 of the number of seeds that we have here.
You on my legs. Leg day was a poor choice for me today.
You got to do it. You got it. I always enjoyed that. It was like I did some
legs
work.
Legs are my favorite, but they also are like, oh my gosh.
Ooh, that was a little wet. We got little guys there too. I'm honest, I count. I'll take a cracked one, I'll be honest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 16 divided by 5. So that's 3, let's round it to 3 seeds per square foot. So that's around a half a bushel of loss on the ground. And what you're yielding, usually we try to get 1% of what we're yielding. So you're getting about, but regardless.
Hey, there's not a whole pan full.
That's right. And there's times that you can find conditions that'll cause that. And see, and the other beauty of this is we can see how much head loss is here, because when this drops, you can see if we were to just come out here and count behind it, you would have to add a few to that number. So you can see how there's some of those beans that are from the head. And that's going to happen because the reel's coming around and it's hitting the bean, the action of the cutter bar shaking the bean, and it's going to fall out. These are really dry. They're about 9%. So there's some give and take. Any operation, you guys know it with hay, there's any operation you got to You got to balance the good with
Right.
the bad.
Yep.
You can sit out there. I can get the cleanest bin sample in the world, but I'll be crawling along at 1/2 mile an hour.
Yeah. And
So-
then it comes down to time, efficiency,
So there's
weather.
You got to balance the good and the bad. And to be honest with you, as good as this is running, I think we're gonna keep going.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
He's gonna leave me one pass. How much you want to bet? That's okay.
We'll leave you the little 8 over here.
No, I'm not, no. Do you want me to have a wreck?
Well, he said what he's going to do, he's going to finish the truck, and I think when he heads out with the truck, we'll open it up. We'll clean it up. That's what we'll do.
That's okay. He's having fun.
I think I'm taking the keys with me when I go, so no one else combines.
See, I told you he wasn't gonna let me in there.
This is a perfectly loaded combine. He's got 3 inches.
He's always like pushing it to the max.
How did you make one more? Pretty good, bud.
We had to get it for a good video, yeah.
That's right.
Right. All right, that'll work.
So, Jason,
Hey, adios.
I guarantee you Jason's gonna fly because I'm gonna drive the combine. Not even joking. I might be a little bit overwhelmed. I do not handle new things well. Nor do I ever use like a CVT style. Maybe we'll just ride along. I'm thinking I'll just ride along. That might be a separate. I think so.
We'll get you a
I
couple
think
rounds
so.
with me, and then you get you a couple.
Oh, I don't know if I got it shut.
Yeah, you gotta give her a little bit of there. You are driving.
He said he was gonna try to not get any speeding tickets as he
So he can get back
So he
quicker.
can get back. Oh my god. I just want you to know that I have horrible anxiety just from the
That's
beginning.
all right.
Just for the record.
Here's the thing. All you gotta remember, and here's what I'll do. We'll go slow.
Okay.
2.5 mile
Okay,
an hour.
great.
When you full stick, it's
Uh-huh.
only 2.5.
Okay.
So there's nothing there. You've got a button here, and a button here, and the steering wheel. Okay?
Okay.
So what you're gonna do is when you turn, and you can take as many turns back and forth as you want.
Okay.
No worries, nobody's judging. When you're ready to drop in, this drops the header in,
Okay.
and then you press it again, and it lifts the header up.
Okay.
And this is your guidance and gauge, so line it up with the edge, hit your button, and it'll snap to it.
Okay.
Okay?
How far do I have to be to my line? Like when I'm driving my 6S?
If you see, the beauty of it is that you just have to put that outside edge as close to that as possible.
Okay.
And then hit your button, and it should
Kind
pull you
sink
right
itself
in.
back in.
Right. And you know what? If you miss, you lift the header up, you back up, and you go back in. And nobody cares, because you know what? It's still clean. You still get it done.
Okay.
Seatbelt.
Safety first.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, you ready? Well, we're going to go about 14 mile an hour, right?
What kind of railing are you doing?
All right, you ready?
No.
Okay.
Okay, so. Okay.
Okay. Go
Now.
ahead and remember you're going to line the inside just so you capture as much of that as possible. There you go. Yeah. This is nerve-wracking. And I would go ahead and hit your auto guide and gauge. Look how professional you are. Look at all this great stuff.
Yeah, until we clog it, because I don't know
So,
how
all you're going to do is you're just going to watch, that spot that we were...
This is lovely.
This is the beauty of auto guide.
Yeah. I thought it was dusty with what I did on a day-to-day job.
This is where the cab also is very nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my asthma would not handle it.
It's like you're in a fishbowl.
Yeah.
Look at the ducks.
Maybe I won't run the drone into a tree this time when you're spreading manure around. About the Gleaner.
I like it.
I like it that it's simple and it's very easy. It reminds me a lot of my tractor, like forward, back to control it. Well, second harvest is out. Are you ready to start planting triticale now?
Yep, let's do the third one.
3 crops, 1 field, 1 year. I know I had fun. I didn't get to drive it as much just because Jason was he was having a lot of fun. So he drove it quite a bit, and yeah. Very big blessing that Aaron and the Gleaner team came through and helped us get our beans out. So big shout out to them. We really appreciate them. They are part of our AGCO team. The Gleaner, Massey Ferguson, Fent. Is that it? Those are the 3 big ones, okay? But yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out.